Hello beautiful people, and welcome back to my channel. If you are a new subscriber, welcome, and if you are a returning subscriber, welcome back. Everything that I use in this video will be listed down below. Don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss whenever I post another video. Let's get straight into it. I'm starting off with this black shade, and I'm just tapping it into place before building it up, making sure that it's in the right area that I want it to be. And then I'm going to softly blend out the edges, mainly focusing on the outer portions first. And while I'm blending it out, I am moving upward just a little bit, so when I go to add in my transition color, everything fades in together. And for the next shade, I'm going to be using this purple. This is going to be my transition color. You can add your transition color first. It all depends on how you want to do it. But I'm placing that on top as well as above that black and blending up. I'm going in very lightly with this because I don't want the purple to really show through right there as much. And I'm going to take that same purple and I'm going to apply that directly in front of that black shade, blending that together. And I'm doing it like this because I wanted this to really stand out. I didn't want the black to take over the look, but I still wanted the black in the mixture. And with this smaller brush, I'm going in with that black shade and kind of bringing it forward just a little bit, not too much. And I'm going to also fade that out as well as apply that purple once again so everything flows together. And I'm taking a clean blending brush and just blending all those shades together so I don't have any harsh lines. You want to make sure that you blend everything out before moving on to anything else. Now I'm going in with that purple shade once again, blending out those outer edges so that the black don't stand out too much. And for this look, I decided to do a white cut crease because I really wanted the next shade to really show through. And I'm just applying this above my natural crease, just a little bit, not all the way up. And I'm just making it rounded along the way. And then I'm gonna stop halfway towards the back. And it's okay if you cover up some of that purple because you will go back in with that purple as well. And I'm going to dip back into that purple so I can get rid of that harsh line in between that white concealer and that purple. And I'm just building that purple up a little bit and fading that towards the middle portion of the eye so that I don't have any harsh lines. And I want to make sure that this purple stands out again more than I do with the black. And for the next shade, I'm going to go in with this green right here. And I'm going to place that on the rest of the lid, leaving just a little bit of white space in between. And you will see what I mean in just a second. But I'm going to build that shade up. And I'm tapping on top of that purple as well, again, to get rid of that harsh line, as well as bringing it forward. And I'm just making sure that everything is nice and covered. Without dipping back into the purple, I'm just making sure I fade that into that green. And then I'm going to do the same thing with the green, making sure I fade that into the purple, just again to get rid of the harsh line. You also can use some type of glitter right there if you want to get rid of the harsh line as well, but you don't necessarily have to. I wanted that white to stand out just a little more, so I'm going in with some white eyeliner and I'm just applying it directly on top of that space. And just because I'm extra and I like a little shimmer, I'm going in with this white silver shimmery shade and I'm applying that into the inner corner, just in the inner corner, and then I'm going to slightly bring it back towards the green just a little bit. And to apply my eyeliner, I like to get as close to my lash line as I possibly can and just making that line go straight back. It don't have to be perfect because I am going to go over it one more time. And now I'm going to start at the outer corner and add my wing, and then I will go in and apply the rest to make it a little bolder and then fill in any areas that need to be filled in. Once I'm done with the liner, I'm going to apply some lashes off camera and do the other side of my eye, and then I'll be right back. I also applied my primer off camera as well, and now I'm going in with my foundation and I'm just applying a little dots at a time on my face, making sure that the dots are nice and even, and then I'm going to blend it out, making sure that I stamp it into place before buffing it in. And you want to do this to make sure that you get the coverage that you want, as well as it blend out everywhere and you don't have any patchiness. If you like to, you could go in with a sponge just to help smooth out whatever the brush didn't. I don't necessarily have to do that because the brush does the job. And now that the foundation is nice and blended, I'm gonna go in and fix my brows just a little bit. using whatever concealer is remaining on the brush that I used from earlier. And then I will go in with my concealer to conceal and add some highlight to my forehead as well as my nose. I'm also going to use this same concealer to highlight the inner corner underneath my eye as well. I'm also going to apply it a little bit on the sides of my nose, so when I go to contour, the contour stands out on my nose a little bit. And I've been loving applying the concealer on the side of my cheeks as well. It really helps bring the look together. I don't necessarily have to apply the concealer because the powder will do the job as well, but the concealer just add a little more flavor to it. I'm going to blend out that concealer on top of my forehead, focusing on the outer corners first, making sure that I blend that into where I applied that extra concealer along the brows as well. And I'm going to blend this all the way out before going in with my foundation brush to help blend everything even further. I'm going to let underneath my eyes as well as my nose dry down a little bit more. So I'm just blending out my cheek area first, taking my time when doing this so that I don't mess up the line. So if this works perfect if you don't feel like applying any type of bronzer to your face or contour, it'll work perfect because once you blend out the concealer underneath your eyes, everything will come together. And what I mean by that is it'll look like you already got on some type of bronzer. And to blend out underneath my eye, I'm focusing on the outer corners first. And I let this concealer dry down a little too long because it was kind of hard to move it, but it worked out at the end because I just had to apply a little more pressure. For me, I like my concealer to actually dry down a little bit before blending it out because I want that full coverage. This concealer already gives you full coverage, but it gives you more coverage if you let it sit like a minute. And I'm going to go back in with both concealers, this time just using the darker shade first and then applying the other shade because I already applied the lighter shade first. I don't want the under eye to be super bright, but I want it to be bright enough. I'm not going to let this concealer sit that long at all. I'm going straight in to blend it out. And I'm starting off blending out the edges first and then blending in the center portion, making sure that I take my time when doing this because I don't want to poke myself in the eye as well as I don't want to mess up my wing. And I'm loving how this look is looking already. I'm going in with this foundation brush. It's nothing on it, and I'm just cleaning up the edges, making sure that there's no harsh lines. And I know underneath the cheeks there is a harsh line, but that's okay because I'll fix that later on. Now I'm just going in with my bronzer. Even though it didn't really need it, I'm just applying just a little bit, as well as setting that area. And I'm gonna go back in with my foundation brush again to clean up any of those edges. And now it's time to set underneath my eyes. So what I'm doing is just making sure that I don't have any creasing before applying the powder. So I'm just cleaning up any creasing that I may have. And I'm just tapping the powder very lightly underneath the eye, and then I'm going to bake for just a little bit. And I'm going in with a little more powder, and I'm just cleaning that line up where that concealer was, and as well as wherever my bronzer stopped at on my nose, I will clean up that area. But I haven't applied the bronzer on my nose yet. That's why I like the fact of using the lighter concealer, because it kind of helps make it kind of look like you already contoured when you didn't. Anywhere that I applied that concealer, I'm going to use this same powder to set that in place. And so that I don't waste another brush, I'm just using that same brush that I applied that black, and I'm just going in to contour my nose. Going very lightly with this product because it is very pigmented. Now I'm taking my pressed powder and I'm just going to basically go on top of the remaining of that powder, and then I will dust everything away. So anywhere that I applied this powder is where I'm going to go back in over that powder, just so it won't be so bright underneath the eye especially. And to help dust away any powder that's on my face, I'm going to use that same pressed powder, and I'm just going to lightly dust everything away. I also decided to apply some of that green and purple on the lower lashes before going in with my mascara as well. And I'm just setting everything into place with this setting spray, and I'm going to use a little fan to help dry that down a little bit before going in with my lip products. And for the lips, I'm going in with my favorite lip liner, and I'm just going to keep the lips a little simple today. And I'm just going to apply this like I normally do, and then go in with a little bit of gloss, and then that is it. That is all. I hope you all enjoyed this video as much as I did making it. Everything that I use will be listed down below. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe so you don't miss whenever I post another video, and I will see you all in the next one.